What's up, guys? It's the start of week 5, and we are just trying to wrap everything up, get all of our accessories installed, and completely finish this property. So we still needed to finish the exterior. As you guys saw last week, we started grading it. Now we're just getting all our forms right, getting our elevations correct. There was some major sloping issues, and the water was running everywhere we didn't want it to go. So a decent amount of dirt had to be moved around, but this week we're expecting to pour, so we got all the forms set up. All of our posts are set as well for our fence. You can kind of see how the side yard is going to be divvied up between the neighbor's entrance and their own private yard. What's up, guys? All right, today we just worked on finalizing our forms for the pour that we're getting ready for. We also decided to add a drain. I think in the long term, this is going to help us out a lot. We really don't want to push the water toward our neighbor's house, and we also don't want to push the water to where we know it's going to settle. I think long term, we figured, hey, if we set this drain here and kind of dig out where we need to, this should help us out with our whole water issue. But all in all, just about ready for us to pour our concrete. All right, guys, it is pour day, and we have the pumper out here pumping the concrete from the truck all the way down our side yard. We like to start early. We got there like at 6 a.m.-ish and prepped anything we needed to. That way, smooth sailing once the concrete arrived. But we got our finishers out there, and we started rolling. I got to say, it was pretty quick. Truck was out there for probably 30 to 40-ish minutes. And I want to say this pour was about 9-ish yards. So all we needed was one truck. Now we can start seeing the side yard taking shape and the new concrete in the front yard where we saw that old water settling. So this should be a welcomed fix for our new tenants. All right, guys, day 23. Inside is basically wrapped up, and now we're installing the exterior panels. Concrete is all dried, and we're really now focused on touch-ups. The side yard for our main house has now taken shape. So this is their own private area that no other tenant should be accessing. And the other future tenants have their own private pathway, and we'll eventually pour the concrete there as well. The units in the back will be having their own gate and own walkway. As you can see, the walkway is completely separate from the main house. I think it's a little easier that way, just so everybody kind of has their own space and nobody is complaining or worrying about any common areas. This is what we found has been the best bet with these sort of multiple units on the same property.
Hey guys, it's Vince with Icon Builders here. We're on our 5th week here, wrapping it up. I'd say we're about 95% done with this project here. Interior is about 98% done. All that's really left is exterior touch-ups. We just poured the cement on Friday, finished the fence today, and then cleaned the whole interior of the house. All the windows are clean, flooring all clean, everything. Appliances, tile, backsplash, kitchen, that's all been cleaned. all in all, this project has been pretty easy, not too bad, not too many hiccups or headaches that we didn't see coming when we first purchased the project or the house. So everything kind of went as order. Yeah, you got all the bedrooms here. Yeah, we just kind of reused these closets, cleaned them up, put new door handles on them. They were in bad shape. It's going to be renter friendly. Don't have to go out and buy more stuff. Same thing with this one over here. Cleaned it up, put everything in drawers. Everything works. All the windows, as you can see, you can't see a window there anymore. You don't even know that there was a window there anymore. Same thing with this wall. So we're all set for when we do build that addition or that extra ADU in the back. But other than that, everything's pretty solid. We'll come this way through the washroom. Same thing, washer dryer hookups for the tenant if they want to go ahead and purchase a washer dryer, they can. And then this is essentially going to be their patio area as well. We've got a gate over there to get you to the front. That way they can walk in from the front. And so, yeah, essentially now we started kind of divvying up the lots. That way the people who rent this don't think, oh, well, we thought that we were going to get the whole backyard. They know exactly now what they're going to get from the start. And then, yeah, and then as far as all the drainage, we got all the drains coming in. We had to install this because our elevation was really high in the back, and our dirt in the front yard was really high. So in the back, it was going to leave us 10 inches of straight concrete, and we didn't want to bring in more dirt. So we ended up having to put in this drainage right here. As you can see, everything slopes pretty well without having. We're going to have gutters installed on about Wednesday. In a couple days, gutter guy will come install the gutters here for this side in the front house. We're not gonna have him do the back because again, we're gonna be adding on to the back side, so there's no point in paying for gutters and then having to rip them off. So just this side and the front side will get gutters. All this, like I said, all the hardscape was poured on Friday, cleaned up nice, done by JP and Company, concrete work. Yeah, over here before, but we had a couple of rains and it was just all the water was just piling in. It was all kind of like this. This was how the original was, cut down to here. And so all the water was just flooding back into this corner. So we just filled it with cement, graded it all down. Same thing, gave them the walkway, everything came up there. But other than that, yeah, 95% done. All that's left are pretty much exterior touch-ups, gutters, and just giving this front patio just a nice clean, a little power wash, and we should be all set up and ready for a renter here in the time coming. So
All right, guys. So this is it for us on this project. It was a lot of fun, a lot of learning, and a cool opportunity of sharing it with you guys. This is our first project that we've aired or posted on YouTube. And so there was a bit of a learning curve with that. Hopefully you guys learned something or found a little bit entertaining. But here we go with the total project's final cost breakdown. So here we go. So total in demo, $5,600. And this includes all the trash we encountered throughout the whole project, all the dump fees, all the time it took to demo out anything we need to. About $1,700 in doors. Most of these doors were pre-hung, so they aren't super expensive. But once again, this is the price, including the materials and labor. $100 in framing, $7,200 in electrical. And remember, for electrical here, we added a new sub panel and we did a rewire. That way we can install new 3-prong grounded outlets. For the exterior, $10,400. This includes that hardscape that you guys saw at the end. This includes the stucco patches. Anything that happened on the exterior, that's kind of what fits into that category. Windows, $5,100. Half the windows were what they call block frame and the other half were retrofit. Certain types ask for certain things, and so most of these we were able to get away with retrofit windows, but some of them, because there was an existing block or sill, that is where you install the block frame one. So all the windows on the front of the house, those are block frame windows, and total for price and installation, $5,100. Plumbing, $8,000. Remember, for this project, we dug out that cast iron and replaced it. And we tapped into the main sewer lateral, and we got rid of the cast iron and we converted the cast iron to ABS, as well as fixed up some of the water lines and converted them to copper. There was only one bathroom, kitchen was small, so not a ton of plumbing, but as you can see, this construction stuff isn't the cheapest. Okay, $300 in mechanical. Mechanical is kind of synonymous in my book for HVAC. I know we just had to install a couple of flashings and do the venting for the bathroom fan, so not much. $5,700 in paint. That's outside and inside. Ways we were to get this down to as little as that was inside was one color, one sheen. So there's no taping off anything. You just spray everything the same color, the same sheen. Don't have to worry about bathroom being a different sheen than the living room or bedrooms, or the ceiling being a different sheen or color than the rest of the house. So we didn't do a ton of coats on the exterior. We just did one coat. We didn't need to knock this one out of the park in terms of appearance. So we ended up with that $5,700 paint number. All right, $3,000 on miscellaneous charges. Some of this charges includes the curtains, mirrors, bathroom accessories, hinges, threshold, shower doors, stuff like that. So just kind of the random stuff that doesn't fit nicely into one category. I just added this one. $7,100 in flooring. We installed it ourselves. LVP. I want to say we spent around $3 a foot or $2.50 a foot on the actual material. That's kind of a hard number to get down, honestly. $2,100 in management. Some days are really just running back and forth between Home Depot and Lowe's and figuring out problems. These are the sort of days where I just kind of throw them into management because we really aren't lending a helping hand, but we still need to chalk it up for our time. $2,600 in landscaping. So that was at the very beginning. There was a lot of weeds, shrubs, trees that we got rid of, and that was that expense. About $4,000 in that vinyl fence. Those vinyl fences are really nice looking. They're pretty easy to put up, but each panel and the post, they're really expensive. $1,600 in finished carpentry. So that's just all your trim, your casing, baseboard. $4,800 in drywall. I think this number came in kind of high, honestly, for the amount of drywall we did, because the amount of drywall we did honestly wasn't much. It was really just kind of fixing a lot of holes. It still took a bit to get it looking good. And then $10,300 for a cabinet and install. This is the prefab cabinetry stuff, so we really can't find, or we really don't want to get anything cheaper, because we do want it to last. However, I'm not entirely certain that the Home Depot cabinetry or Lowe's cabinetry will hold up for long. And then $2,200 in tile, and that's just the bathroom tile and then the backsplash. So all in all, for the total of the project, we're at $81,800. In my opinion, this is a B minus job. We weren't looking to spend a whole lot of time making this thing perfect. If this job was for a client, we probably would charge a few $1,000s more than this, but the final product would come out a lot closer to perfection. Here we erred on the side of fast because we know it's going to be a rental, and we know that it's not necessarily going to be cared for to the highest of someone's ability. In the event that there was something where we needed to decide, hey, should we do it like this and take a little longer, or do it like this and just keep moving, we usually decided, hey, just do it like this and keep moving. So this project definitely isn't flawless. Is it nice? Absolutely. But is it something that we would put it in front of our client and say, hey, this is the best we can do? Absolutely not. But once again, this is for us. And so we weren't necessarily trying to get the best out there because we know it's going to be a rental. Thank you guys for tuning in. I hope this helps somebody with a little bit more insight into the construction process. I hope this provided some clarity into the costs associated with something like a renovation. And I hope you guys found some entertainment out of this. So stay tuned for the next one. Thanks, guys. See ya.